Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise every devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil and said, I pray you die, every devil.
Because I'm willing to fight against drug dealers if they're Muslim, if they're Christian, if they're atheist, if they're Buddhist, if they killing black men, guess what? I'm gonna say something about it. Because you know why? Just like you ain't gonna, like your boy said, it ain't gonna happen. Guess what? I'm not letting nobody sell you drugs without me saying that. I'm not gonna do it. Even though I don't know you, guess what? Just like that's your boy, guess what? I'm your boy. Even though I don't know you, I'm not letting nobody tell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it works out.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues. Call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Feel like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good break. Sometimes I follow what is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how did you excel? With them the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword, with a style that they might just record. The only thing equal is the curse for the wicked and the righteous reward. Have mercy on the many, don't see it. Separated from the tares, now on my prayers, and it's so be it. A rebel, take the world by word of mouth. U.P.K, we the rebels that you heard about. Yeah. And it ain't gonna stop till 100 virgins in the house and I'm handing verdicts out. Get rank, you ain't heard a clout without a shadow of a doubt. These devils hitting licks off us. Fuck the bank, I'm about to stone the pocket, ticket office. Can't sweet talk, cannot stop us. And plus I know the feds watching us. Tell the people that they church full of witch doctors. Put us in prison, they stop violence. Meanwhile, U.P.K turning rebels into Rottweilers. And leave for mighty men, and now I understand things that never truly made sense. Like one crying through the roof for a criminal, knowing he ain't innocent, it's fucked up. But my boot shot, standing between two priests, about to blaze on their heads, call it tough love. Look out for niggas.
Shalom, Lord of Christ, what's poppin'?
Such a white bitch with OJ's black gloves. Father, forgive me for my error. I'm forever by your side. Clean and purge me of all my flaws. This the reason I'm alive. Thank God.
Check. All right, clap it up. Both sides.
Before you start, now keep talking in the mic, boss, for sure.
Come on, sir. It's Shalom on Fayetteville. We are the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that we are the true Jews of the Bible.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Despite what your pastor pork chop may teach you, you know what I'm saying? We are definitely the true Jews of the Bible. Salaki. We are not affiliated with no Hebrew Israelite group. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you're not in the truth.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Today, across the globe, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be teaching the law class. You know, so we're gonna start off with Christ didn't do away with the law, because one thing, if I may, Baba Kashai, you give me Matthew 5:17. But you know, one thing that we taught in the Christian church is that, you know, the laws is done away with, which is so funny because in the Christian church they take up tithes in the church. You know what I'm saying? But then they tell you the laws is done away with, which is basically a blanket of way to them for them to basically cover over their sins. You know, you got that for me, brother? What's on Christ?
The book of Matthew 5:17. Think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right. Like what color is that written in, brother?
Salaki, it's a red.
Con. Most High Christ. So we know if it's written in red, you know what I'm saying, this is Yahweh Shah speaking. So like they say, you know, it's coming from the horse's mouth himself. You know what I'm saying? And Christians love to say, you know, Christ came to do away with the law.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The laws was nailed to the cross with him. But him out of his own mouth is telling you, he said, to think not that I have come to destroy the law. You know what I'm saying? Don't even put it in your mind. You know what I'm saying? He said that I've come to destroy the law because, one, you know, as far as destroy, it means to put out or of existence or eradicate. You know what I'm saying? And Christ said I didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. You know what I'm saying? The prophets are old, Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying? Malachi, you know, Moses. It says, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. You know, and with that being said, you know what I'm saying? The word fulfill, it means to execute. Out of the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it means to put into effect or meet the requirements of. You know, or like my brother, my Ottawa will always say, you know what I'm saying, to execute.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So read that for me again, Baba Kashab, brother.
Kind of one concern. The book of Matthew, chapter 5:17.
Right.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right, Most High in Christ, man. And see, this is the problem with our Christian church, man, which is what we call the Christian church is the house of Satan.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is the word Satan means the adversary of God. Because everything that's taught in the Christian church is the adversary or the opposite of what the Most High says,
That's right.
or what he requires. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, I can't understand how, for the life of me, how we sitting here in the Christian church being told that the laws is done away with, but you ready to send that collection plate or, you know what I'm saying, to get them tithes up. If you could, Baba Kashab, read Matthew 5:18 for me, Baba Kashab.
Kind of one concern. The book of Matthew, chapter 5:18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Most High in Christ. Like it says in Matthew 5:18, for verily, meaning truly I say unto you.
That's right.
So again, we know this is Yahweh Shah speaking. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, it's coming from the horse's mouth itself. So if you're supposed to be a follower of Christ, how you following Christ saying the laws is done away with when he said it's not? So we already know, one, that, you know what I'm saying, these Christians that say they follow Christ is not the true Christians that really spoke of in the Bible.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It says, for verily I say unto you, again, meaning truly, until heaven and earth pass. So when you look up, you know what I'm saying, you go outside, you see heaven, or you see the skies, you see earth. You know what I'm saying? The heaven and earth has never passed, and it will not pass.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? According to the precept of Ecclesiastes 1:4, it says, one generation passeth away and another come, but the earth abideth forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, we know the earth abideth forever. So that means with the earth abideth forever, these laws is going to abide forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ. You know, so again, like it says, in no wise, it's like one jot or one tittle. You know, the one jot is, you know what I'm saying, or one tittle is the dotting of the T's. It's like the dotting of the I's and the crossing of the T's. And it says, it shall no wise pass from the law. So again, even down to the various little things, which is we would think that eating shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster would be a little thing, but it's one of the biggest things that the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is plagued with today. You know what I'm saying? I had, if I may sidebar, brother, my slave, you know what I'm saying, this brother eating pork, and he's sitting here talking, well, brother, as long as you pray over it, it'll be all right. But, you know what I'm saying, that's a slap in the face to the Most High, you know what I'm saying, because like he said, man, you know what I'm saying, his word will not go out void. So you sitting here basically disrespecting him and asking him to make it okay for you to eat the same thing that he told you is forbidden to eat. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, read that again for me, brother. Salaki, Baba Kashan.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
Most High Christ, again, like I said, that word to be fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? Because the Christians, they're going to tell you, you know, Christ fulfilled the law, right, but not even understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? Because in here, we look up words. We know what I'm saying? We look up the understanding and meanings of what these words mean, because it's the whole contextual meaning when we, you know what I'm saying, read these words. Like I said, from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, you know what I'm saying, it says to put in effect or meet the requirements of. So Christ letting you know, man, I came out here just to make sure that my Father, the Most High, you know what I'm saying, his word don't go out void, and that we following these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Christ was the ultimate brother, man. You know what I'm saying? He put his life on the line, if I may, just like the I.S.U.P.K today do. You know what I'm saying? Well, we go out and teach Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who we truly are. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, we go out there on them camps, man, and it ain't guaranteed that we going to come home, man. You know what I'm saying? But Barakatah Yahweh Shah for that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a glorious thing to go out there and teach our people, man. You know what I'm saying? Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 19, Baba Kasha.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Most High Christ. So like if I may read that one again from the top, brother.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
All right, it's all right there for Baba Kasha. It says whosoever, you know what I'm saying, which we know here. You know, they're going to say, well, this is talking about everybody across the whole globe. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor, you know what I'm saying? Moab, all them. But this whosoever is talking about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we know, you know what I'm saying, that we was the ones that was given the law. You know what I'm saying? So like it says, whosoever shall break, so like whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments. One, you got to be given the commandments to even break them. You know what I'm saying? And it says, and who shall teach men so? So we know good and well that the I.S.U.P.K is teaching the law, statutes, and commandments. Right. But the ones that's not teaching the law, statutes, and commandments is that T.D. Jakes, theft your dollars. I mean, I seen, if I may, I seen a post the other day where theft your dollars was sitting here telling us that, or the Christian church, that it's evil to keep the law. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't nothing but wickedness coming out of his mouth, man, because how is it evil to keep the law when the Most High gave us the greatest way, or if I may, how, you know what I'm saying, the Ottawa say the playbook to win the game, man. That's right. You know what I'm saying? All we got to do is get in the game. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading that, brother, where you was at. This and shall teach men so, like.
And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Start right there for me, Baba Kasha. Like I said, it said he shall be called the least in the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Meaning it's going to be the lowest state of being, man. You know what I'm saying? We look at today and we see, you know what I'm saying, homeless people today, brothers, the ones that's teaching law or not teaching law, statutes, and commandments, to break these law, statutes, and commandments. So like they're going to be lower than that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about you, but I'm trying to get this king and this crown, man. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're doing in this school is building up the kingdom, man, so that we can have rulership, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't want to be the least in the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to be, you know, get my crown when Yahweh shall come back, Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? It says, but whosoever shall do and teach them. Now hold up, now you know what I'm saying. This but you know what I'm saying. We know one. You know, we already know the ones that's not teaching the law, statutes, and commandments, but the ones that are, which is again, I gotta give the credit to the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for Commander General YAHANNA. You know what I'm saying? So it says, but whosoever shall do and teach them. So not only should you do the law, statutes, and commandments or teach the law, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to basically keep them in your heart, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to be like them Pharisees and Sadducees. They taught the law, but they ain't never do the law, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Christ said, do as they say, but not as they do, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop that for me, Baba Kashai, and give me the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 17. Most High in Christ, man. So you know, like I said, with the Salaki with the you know what I'm saying, Salaki, the help of the Most High in Christ, man. We're gonna debunk these lies, man, because again, man, this is one thing that has been prevalent amongst the church, man, because they teach that the laws and statutes, you know what I'm saying, is done away with, man. And we know, you know, with doing these laws, you know, just the simplest thing, man. We know we're not supposed to steal from our brother, man. Shalom, brother. You know what I'm saying? We know we ain't supposed to. Most High in Christ. We know we ain't supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster. We eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is the only one that's getting high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? The only one getting gout. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, Big Mama, she got ankles that, you know what I'm saying, big as I don't know what, man, because we sitting here eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. You know what I'm saying? And this is the easiest thing to really put away, man. You know what I'm saying? With the help of the Lord and the brothers Slack and the Adawanyam and the I.S.U.P.K. You got that for me, brother?
Kind of one concert. The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 17. And Salakia, and he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
Most High in Christ. Read that for me again, dude. Baba Kashaf from the top.
Kind of one kind. The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 17. And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good?
Oh, Salaki. And with that, we gonna pass the class off to priest and officer Bankiel. Most High in Christ. About to get going. Ooh.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. Give that mighty prophet a hand, man. Word up. Give him a hand. He did a wild job. This is not an easy thing to do. Salakia. Shalom. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatah of the brothers. Yahweh Shamar, Alatha Hashem, Yahweh Shad of the sisters. I'm priest and officer Bon Kayal out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And like that powerful priest said before me, you know, we come out here on Wednesday to teach the biblical law class, man. And what we have to understand about the law is that this is our culture. This is our identity, man. You do not have a choice in the matter with regard to you being a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. You don't have a choice. If you're born of Israel, you do not have a choice in the matter when it comes down to your obedience unto the Most High, unto keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. Because if you don't, I mean, look around. Look where you live. Look where our people are situated, man. Where the greatest concentrations of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are. You know, look at your reality. It's hell. We live in hell, man, here in America and all over the globe. And that's because of our lack of obedience, our disobedience unto keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. We're not even being true to ourselves when we do anything other. Us striving to be the best African Americans that we could possibly be. You know, us voting, thinking that we're gonna put an oppressor, we're gonna put someone in office that's gonna alleviate all of our burdens, man. It's a lie.
You're not even supposed to vote, man. That goes against our laws.
That's right.
Voting, striving to just be whatever, outside of being an Israelite, that's folly. You are living a lie. And I fought the Christian church, man. I fought the Christian pastors. Scriptures say, woe be unto the pastors, right?
Right.
Why? Why do you think the scriptures say, woe be unto the pastors, man? Go ahead, young.
It says, woe be unto the pastors because of Salakia, because of the destruction they're causing the people of the Most High.
Okay, good. That was a good, vague, safe answer.
Salakia, sir.
What's that? Salakia. Who's it? What? I will Bob. Go ahead, brother.
Salakia, sir, I would say because the Christian church, the Christian pastors are supposed to be our leaders. And instead of leading us, they're lining their pockets with the money. And it's been bought out by the government and all, the oppressor. And instead of, showing us the way, they're showing us the way of the oppressor. Salakia.
Most High in Christ. Get Most High in Christ. The water, brother. But how are we destroyed, though, outside of that? Outside of them just robbing us? How were the Christian pastors destroying us?
Salakia, by pushing out that abortion is okay for sisters to get.
Most High in Christ.
Salakia.
Most High in Christ. What else?
By pushing, just like the Adawan said earlier in the class about how they say you don't have to keep up with the law,
right,
and do the law, and how they push homosexuality.
Daniel 8:25, brother.
Okay.
Keep going. Salakia. Run it down.
The molestation that goes on in their churches.
Right.
The sleeping with brothers' wives.
Hold your point, trooper. Hold your point, brother. Go ahead.
It was sleeping with brothers' wives, sleeping with brothers' children.
Right.
That's all I got.
Right. Well, no, get that brother a hand, man. You on the money, man. Everything that we've learned in this place, our customs, our traditions, the things that we hold in high esteem here in America and throughout the earth is all a lie, man. If you are not in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander General YAHANNA, you're living a lie, okay? 9 times out of 10, you are in the Christian church, man. And we can say that because at one point in time, we were in the Christian church, right. But the water to Commander General YAHANNA, man, and all the generals, man. Damn right. Commander General YAHANNA held this truth down since 1969, man. I was born in 82, and my parents never, ever, ever presented this to me. I was given foolishness. Right. I was given lies, man. And my parents earnestly thought that they were giving me something of value by putting the Bible in my hand and leading me into the Christian church, man. But that was the root of the failure of my parents' marriage. That was the root and all the failure with regard to our family, man. Right. With regard to our community. I'm not going to be just subjective here. I'm not going to just talk about myself, but my story is just like any other nigga in the truth story. Right. Go ahead, brother.
Sister online said their conception of marriage. Christian church conception of marriage.
Oh, right. The fact that I was talking to a sister the other day, and we put more value in a ring or a marriage license than we do our own bodies, man. Right. Because in here, I never learned this. In the world, they say, wait till you get married to have sex, Wait till you get married. Save yourself until marriage. Right. Okay? When the whole time they should have been telling you that sex is marriage, man. Right. That is the act, that brings a man and a woman together. Where two were once twain, they become one flesh, man, right. According to what the scriptures say. Sex is marriage. And me knowing that as a little jit growing up, I would have made far wiser decisions with regard to who I laid down with, okay? Right. And just imagine how, if that was pushed in the churches, how much value is in that. Contextually, you can't mistake that. You tell them definitively, sex is marriage, point blank, period. Second you lay down and bust it wide open for that brother, he becomes your husband. He becomes your head. You cannot live your goddamn best life anymore. You're here to serve this man as a helpmeet. Salakia. Put an order out on you and get rid of him. Salakia. But like I said, this is the Wednesday night biblical law class, man. And this is a very essential class for us, because our people in the world, our people don't know. They completely disregard the laws. Right. What was Creflo Dollar talking about? Satan wants you to keep the law. Right. What in the world is that, man? That's some blasphemy. That is an absolute lie straight from the mouth of Satan, man. Right. And we're going to get into, witchcraft. We're going to get into, how Christianity is just, it's anti-God, man. Right. Christianity is witchcraft, all right? And Christian pastors are witches, man. And their prayers basically cast spells upon their congregations, man. That's why your mom and Big Mama's in a stupor when it comes down to Pastor Joe Willie. You can't say nothing wrong about Pastor Joe Willie. Right. Salakia. Where we at? Daniel 8:25.
Sir. The book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Through whose policy? Whose policy you think we're speaking of right here?
Salakia, sir. Are we talking about the pastors?
The pastors? Well, not necessarily. They're not teaching their own doctrine. They're teaching a doctrine that was taught to them by our oppressor. Okay? So you got to think, you got to recognize that Christianity is white supremacy, man. Okay? That is its own separate thing. Christianity has absolutely nothing to do with the Bible. Okay? Right. But when you start to read the Bible, you recognize the lies of the Christian church. Right. You recognize that Pastor Joe Willie is a goddamn liar, man. You recognize that. That's right. But that comes from reading. That's right. That comes from sitting at the feet of the true priests and prophets, man. Right. Humbling yourself, not being all puffed up and prideful, thinking you know better. Right. Thinking you know better. What's the Bible say about the heart, man? We just went over the scripture yesterday. What's the Bible say about the heart, man? And it's deceit. Heart is deceitful above all things, man. That's right. And your goddamn mind plays tricks on you. Right. Straight up and down. You think you know something, you don't know anything. Right. I had to learn that lesson coming into these classrooms. Being I had to humble myself and come in here as a child, man. Grown-ass man as a baby. Learning things about the law that I thought I had a firm grasp on, a firm understanding on. I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm voting. My voter report card, I had a B on my voter. They give you a voter report card, in the world, because you're subscribing to, the way, Esau's ways, man. Buying into the American delusion, of democracy. It's all white supremacy, man. It's his way or the highway in their eyes, But if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, man, it's the Lord's way or the highway. You do not have the opportunity to compromise or to be devolved or debased by embracing anything other than these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is how you know who you are. Right. And you look weird to people that are in the world, man. I pop up to the slave with braids in the beard and not gay apparel, you know what I'm saying? And they're looking like, whoa, because this is a thing that is very, we're an endangered species, man. Right. This is not a popular thing. Right. My brother was just talking about, that straight gate. Right. This is a very narrow path that we're on, man. Right. So you should take pride in it. I love my brothers, man. Right. I love my sisters, man. Right. You in here, you serving the Lord. Right. I'll give my life for you.
Damn right, man.
Because Christ gave his life for me.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ, man.
Damn right, man.
Continue with that Daniel 8:25.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Right. Our oppressor has magnified himself in his mind, so much so that there is a philosophy called white supremacy that permeates every facet of your life if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. Living here in America, especially. Their laws were created for them. America was built by us, but for them.
Right.
They had to push our Native Indians off of the land for white settlement. That is actually on the books, man. The Indian Removal Act, man, of 1830. That's a real thing, man. And they lack, or Salaki, brother, have them keep it down in there. They are devoid of wisdom. They're devoid of understanding. And we get that from keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is a nation of fierce countenance that we're serving right now. Okay, but you don't have to serve aimlessly. There's a better way, and it's in the I.S.U.P.K, man, under Commander General YAHANNA.
Right.
All right. Well, go ahead, brother.
So like you said, if I may, I want the word magnify, and it's out of the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It says to cause to be held in greater esteem or respect. You know what I'm saying? Which we know, again, that's the oppressor today, man. Like you said, with that white supremacy, because like just how these devils, they walk around, you know what I'm saying, with their head held high, their nose in the air. You know?
Right.
Like we supposed to give them respect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like the scriptures say, we better than them. You know what I'm saying? So like,
man, what's Deuteronomy 7:6 say?
Right.
I always like to touch on that verse, man. Right. I mean, it seems like every class, every speaking, I'm pulling Deuteronomy 7:6 because it means that much to hear the Lord say that about us being a special people, man.
That's right.
A separate people, a holy people that he chose above all the people of the earth. I mean, every nation. It's a lot of people, man.
Right.
You know, and you can look at each nation and, you know, you can recognize whatever desired qualities that they have. You know, what makes Moab and Ammon a great nation. You know, every brother I know love Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? They have desirable qualities, but when it comes down to who the Lord chose, I mean, nothing is better than black and brown.
Right.
You know, nothing at all. You know, we are the creme de la creme, as they would say.
That's right.
But continue with that word. You said magnify, right? He magnified himself where?
In his heart.
In his what?
In his heart.
In his heart. So his mind is just debased by thoughts of grandeur, thinking that he is something when he is absolutely nothing.
Right.
You know, we can go to Second Ezra. Go to Second Ezra 6:54. Let's go there real quick. You already know where I'm going with this one.
Right.
You know, on the strength of the other people, which also come of Adam.
Right.
You know, go to 56 when you get it. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 56.
The book of Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 56. As for the other people, all the other nations, Moab, Ammon, Phut, Ham, right,
Japheth, Elam, Edom,
right,
the other people,
which also come of Adam,
right? Continue.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
Thou hast said that they are what?
They are nothing.
Spell it, brother.
N-O-T-H-I-N-G.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's right.
That's devoid of value, man. That's nine of vanity, you know?
Right.
White supremacy is an ideology of vanity, man.
Right.
You think about somebody that's just, you know, self-involved, self-absorbed. It's all about them.
Right.
That's our oppressor, you know? And in his blindness or his madness for the love of himself and magnifying himself in his own heart, you know, he don't even recognize it. He's spittle.
That's
Continue
right.
reading.
Come, sir. But be like unto spittle.
Be like unto what?
Unto spittle.
Be like unto spittle, man. Y'all know what spittle is, right? You know, drool is one thing, but spittle is another thing. Right. You know, it's a lesser thing. Right. You know, and it has no value. It's nothing. Right. You're not gonna mess your day up behind losing some spittle, man. That's what the Lord has likened the abundance of all these other nations to. Right. Nothing. Okay. All right, drop that, man. Let's go back to Daniel, man. Go back to Daniel. And take it from the top, brother.
The book of Daniel, chapter
8.
The book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Right. When you think about our so-called oppressors' policies, man, it's nothing more than his laws. And you think about his laws, how are his laws contrary to the Most High's laws? If we were to compare and contrast a T-chart, okay, you could put Esau's laws here, we'll put the Most High's laws here, and then you put Esau's laws here, draw a line down the middle, compare and contrast. Name some of Esau's laws. Go ahead, brother.
Salaki, so you can abort your babies, no consequence.
Pro-life or pro-choice. They give you two options, which is evil. Because you're not supposed to allow your seed to pass through the fire, essentially. You're not supposed to put your baby to death because of a goddamn potential career. That's unfulfilled potential.
That's right.
Because you're gonna abort one baby, then weeks later you're gonna abort the next. Months later, you're gonna have a whole graveyard, man, of babies that you aborted because for filthy lucre, or for the thought of you being the next whatever. We're killing ourselves for the sake of what, man? Right. We're going against our laws to appease the oppressor, man, to be accepted. You know, we're already a nation that is not desired according to scriptures. Right. So this is our existence. You should be good and content with not being liked by any of the other nations. Right. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. I mean, this is as old as time. Right. Okay. What else? Give me some other laws, man. Go ahead, brother.
Slide, if I may, sir, monogamy.
Get that brother a hand. Yeah, that's right. 1 is too close to 0. Pan the camera. Every brother in here is grinning. But really, you know, I got one wife, and that's serving the Lord, you know, that's being in this truth, man. But beyond that, as far as a rib is concerned, you know, a brother can have more than one rib. We don't pop whores in here, man.
Hell no.
Say that again, brother.
Hell no.
I second that. Straight up and down, man. That goes against our laws, man. Right. What does the scripture say about harlots and with regard to Israel? About whores. I know the scripture say a shameless woman should be counted as a dog, man. Right. Yeah. What's a female dog? Most High in Christ. As long as you know, you know. So right, monogamy. You got to understand that is a ancient Greek or Roman philosophy. You know, and you look at the Roman Catholic Church today, and they have these scandals with regard to pedophilia, and they prefer men and boys over women, man. You know, that goes against our customs. That goes against our law. You can't lay with a man the way you would lay with a woman if you're a man.
Right, that's right.
I got you right here.
Go ahead, brother.
That hard. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 16. What? And that's a question. It's asking, you know, what? Know ye not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two, said he, shall be one flesh.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? So you join yourself to a harlot, man. You dealing with everything that woman bringing. And you know what I'm saying? Like you taking on all them demons.
Right.
From every brother that she done been with.
And not only are you taking on those demons, your brothers are suffering too. You pop a whore out here, you join her whoredom, her wickedness, her evil, you join that to the school, man.
That's right.
We all have to suffer because of your stupid decision making, man.
Right.
Carelessness, recklessness, man. I mean, be a man. Be a man when it comes down to dealing with these sisters, man. And I love my sisters.
That's right.
They say what? Love is correction.
That's right.
You know, whores would not exist if whoremongers didn't exist.
That's right.
You know, so it is what it is. But Most High Christ for that scripture, brother.
Right.
Give me some more laws. We talked about abortion. We talked about monogamy. Talked about being a whore. We talked about being a homosexual.
Right.
What else? What other laws? Esau says you could be whatever now.
That's right.
We're in the era of non-binary system. So what I mean by that is, as far as gender is concerned,
Right.
you know, in the scriptures it talks about how many genders did the Most High create. How many? Y'all know what gender is, right?
Right. That's right.
What kind of class are we gonna have today? Good night.
So you got the law against homosexuality.
Right, right. Yeah, find that. Find a law against homosexuality. But when we talk about gender,
That's what we bring. You said it's two genders, male and female.
Right.
The Bible says he created them,
mm-hmm.
male and then female, and then two so-called oppressor. He likes to give, like you said, all these non-binary LGBTQ. You can identify what you want. When I read the COVID statistics, it says males and females.
Right.
It don't say nothing about no,
Mhm.
sapiosexuals or no aliens or whatever they call themselves.
Right.
You're getting affected as male and female.
That's
When the
right.
CDC get involved, it's male and female.
That's right.
So it's all BS.
It's all BS, man. It's all BS, and we lost in the BS.
Right.
Go ahead, brother. Most High in Christ on the money.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
Right.
They shall surely be put to death.
Sorry.
Their blood shall be upon them.
Good night. The Most High, it's so poetic when you read the Bible, and then you correlate what you read to reality. It parallels. It says their blood shall be upon them.
Right.
What do you think HIV is?
That's right.
It's a disease of what? The blood, which progresses to what? AIDS.
Right.
And at one point in time, it was called GRID. And only gay communities were being affected by it.
Right.
The hubs like San Francisco, I guess Soho in New York, DuPont Circle in DC, wherever they congregate, this virus was thriving.
Right.
Okay. And it's a real, we serve a terrible power, man.
Right.
If you Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you better put your money on the Lord.
Right.
You don't want your blood to be upon you because you're doing something wicked and vile. We talked about lasciviousness yesterday.
Right.
And that's exactly what that is. For you to desire to be with the same gender, man. That goes against science. It's a true affront to science.
Right.
Because just imagine if this literally, it has taken hold, but if everybody embraced being gay or the LGBT, QRS, whatever, imagine if everybody embraced that. Humanity would cease to exist, man. Nobody's procreating anymore.
Right.
Everybody's chasing the goddamn bag, I guess. I ain't the baby. I'm not going to apologize for my comments, man. The testimony of the Lord is what, Officer Kodam? The testimony of the Lord is what? Most High in Christ.
Right.
Brother, be listening.
Right.
Most High in Christ. Anyhow, continue with that verse, Daniel 8:25.
Salakia, and he shall magnify himself in his heart,
Right.
and by peace shall destroy many.
And by peace he shall destroy many. What is the main philosophy of Christianity, man? being a conscientious dissenter, being a pacifist.
Right.
You know, they paint Christ to be this weak homosexual man, and the Lord was a man of war.
Right.
Literally, I mean, them brothers had swords on them. When Samuel came to your city, or the prophets, you know, we're a nation of priests, warriors, man, warrior priests.
Right.
We mean business, man, when it comes down to keeping these laws and upholding these laws, you know, because we understand what happens when we don't uphold those laws, man. We understand what happens to a nation when you don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
We know what it's like to be separated from our power,
That's right.
from our protection.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
So like sir, if I may, when I think, you know, the scriptures where it says, by peace he shall destroy many. You know what I'm saying?
Saying we know the oppressor made a treaty with, you know what I'm saying, our brothers, the Gadites, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
the scriptures say, though the words of his mouth is smoother than butter, but war is in his heart.
What was in his
You
heart?
know what I'm saying? So they sit here and appear like they love us or they trying to be, you know, for us. But the whole time they're trying to undermine us to see how they can take over us, man.
Right. Most High in Christ said that, brother. The water. Damn right. So hold that thought, man. I got an article. And I thought this article was really, really interesting, you know, even with regard to the oppressor and his policy, man. You know, and the craft. I don't think we got through the verse. Did we get through, Daniel? Yeah, let's finish that before we hit the article up.
So it says, he shall also stand up against the prince of princes.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes. Who is that? Who's the prince of princes?
Salaki, sir, if I may, if it sounds like Yahawashi.
Most High in Christ. Continue.
Come, sir. It says, but he shall be broken without hand.
He shall be what?
Broken without hand.
He shall be broken without hand, man. That's poetry, man.
Right. That's right.
To be broken without hand.
That's right.
This is a spiritual thing, man, that we're dealing with here. You know, that lets you know that, okay, we're not advocating violence in the I.S.U.P.K.
That's right.
We understand and recognize that our weapons of warfare are not carnal,
That's right.
regardless of how many guns we own. Okay, we'll never be going on the offensive until we're given the order from Christ.
Right.
Off with your head. Okay, Salakia. But yeah, continue with that verse.
You want to go to 26?
No, that's it. Drop that. We'll hold it, but we're gonna drop it for now. We're gonna touch on this article real quick, and if you will, Baba Kushah, how many people have ever heard of Isaac Woodward? Anybody ever heard of Isaac Woodward? It's a military town. Nobody's ever heard of Isaac Woodward. There's blacks and Hispanics in here, right?
That's right.
Nobody's ever heard of Isaac Woodward. Nobody online? No, they're probably Googling it right now. Anyhow, if you will, brother, we're going to read a story detailing the tragedy that befell one of our brethren, man. And his name is Isaac Woodward, at the hands of our chief oppressor. Okay, and we all know who our chief oppressor is.
That's right.
That the Bible speaks of, right? Go ahead and start reading that article, if you will, brother.
Come, sir. This is the Washington Post. It says a black World War II veteran was beaten and blinded. Fueling the civil rights movement. Fueling the civil rights movement.
Right. So, you know, we're dealing with a nation of fierce countenance, man. They have no absolute zero regard for our lives, man. You know, I got into a conversation with someone about the state of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Salakia, the brother was teaching a class about it and how the oppressor holds no value in our lives. He puts all his stock in the labor that he gets from us. But, you know, if you're maimed or if you get too old, you know, you have a condition or whatever that's going to compromise your labor for him, you cast you away. He don't give a damn about you. Okay. But I just thought it was really, really interesting that we haven't recognized still that they don't hold our lives in any regard at all. None whatsoever. So much so that we've taken on the spirit of devaluing our own selves. You know, So go ahead and read that article, brother.
Come, sir. In February 1946, Sergeant Isaac Woodard, a decorated black soldier.
He wasn't just a run-of-the-mill soldier. It says he was decorated. This brother was high speed, man. Okay? Just like most brothers that I know that go in, they get tabbed out. They go to all the schools. We're natural warriors. We're warriors, but that's in our nature to be that way. Right. Why do you think we jump the highest and run the fastest, man? Right. And are the strongest in any round with regard to the sports arena? Right. Some rascal walking up down the street, could be a heavyweight fighter. He's just not given the opportunity, which is another conversation because only poor men get into boxing. That's a sport where, they pit our brothers and sisters against each other. Well, our brothers primarily against one another, and you go into boxing because of poverty. So rich men don't get into boxing, just like rich men don't go into the military. Okay. Going into the military as a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, it says a lot about you, and I understand, you want more for your life. You want more for your family,
So like, I was just about to say, me and my rib was having a conversation about that before I left.
Right.
His brothers, where I'm from,
lights is hot.
Like, if you ain't getting out playing an oppressive sport, then the military is your way out.
That's right.
Like, brothers growing up, like, that's all they think. I had a friend, and he told me, he was like, yo, you living my dream. And that was being in Esau's military, man.
Good night. You think it's safe.
Right.
You think that's the safe bet, And, in the end, if you don't got a wicked jump shot, and you don't have a heart to sell, crack rocks, then, to the recruiter's office I go.
That's right.
And the spirit behind doing it is honorable, but it's wrong. Okay. It's absolutely wrong. So if you in Esau's military or in law enforcement, you should definitely reconsider. Come sit in class, man, and learn what your true purpose is. Go ahead, brother.
Right. That's heavy right out too, because it's a flag in every church.
Mm-hmm.
So they read you from there. Right. You in high school, you really ain't figured it out yet. Maybe what's going on. You can go get you a trade, become a plumber, and come Pastor Joe and talk to your mama.
Yeah.
With a pamphlet talking about how he was in the service.
Mm-hmm.
Send you right off because his flag sitting right up there in the pulpit. Mm-hmm. So it's ridiculous.
Right. Damn right. Most High in Christ.
Right.
Yeah, that is what is
that's right.
The water. Most High in Christ, man. ain't nothing like it. Straight up. Salakia. These lights is hot, man, if you at home watching. Anyhow. Good night. Is there a way you can dim them joints? Great day. Back them up. Back them lights up, man. I don't need all that. I let my light shine before men. You know what I'm saying? This ain't what the Lord was talking about. Nah, Most High in Christ, man, the water for those lights. Anyhow, continue with the article, brother.
Come, sir. It says a decorated black soldier just returning from World War II rode a Greyhound bus headed home to South Carolina.
Brother was on the bus, man. On the bus. Keep reading.
Come.
We got to get through this article. It's a short article.
Come. It says Woodard, who had just been honorably discharged from the Army and was still wearing his uniform,
right,
asked the bus driver to stop so that he could use the restroom. The driver reluctantly pulled over after calling Woodard boy. Woodard, who had just returned from more than 3 years of military service in the Pacific, stood up for himself and other black veterans, telling the driver not to talk to him like that. I'm a man just like you, Woodard said. At the next town, Batesburg, South Carolina, the driver called the police. The Batesburg police chief pulled Woodard off the bus and immediately began beating him, plunging a blackjack into each of Woodard's eye sockets and blinding him.
All right, so let's run this down. What's happening here? The brother just got out of the military, was honorably discharged. They said it was decorated. He lives in the South, okay? I got another article that really details, where he was during World War II in the Pacific Theater. And then they mentioned Bainbridge, which is where one of the brothers here, and even one of the generals is from Bainbridge, Georgia. They talked about that being where I guess we went to basic or whatever. Anyhow, this brother's on this bus, okay? This is a time post-Reconstruction, post the Civil War, okay? And you know that our enemy or our oppressor enacted certain laws, you know, beyond the slave codes. We have black codes, Jim Crow laws in the South, okay? This is the 40s, if I'm not mistaken, 1946, okay? So you in the South, you know this is Jim Crow. There's a certain way that you need to behave if you're in the South under Jim Crow. Boy is definitely commonplace. It's within the lexicon of, you know, language that you should accept as a black man, regardless of you being in a goddamn uniform or not. Doesn't make sense. But you can imagine, put yourself in the mind of Isaac Woodard. Y'all know what y'all have done for Esau, going through basic, going to AIT and whatever other school, and then being put in combat, putting in a war-like situation. War is different than what it used to be. That's right. Okay. I see y'all play those games all the time, you know, yeah, COD, and you see the trench warfare and all that crazy. There's no way. I ain't going into Esau's military. If I got to do that, I could be subject to doing that. No, for what? For what? This brother on the bus talking to the bus driver, okay? At that time, the buses, the Greyhound buses did not have restrooms, all right? You going through the Deep South, they pull over. They making multiple stops. They'll pull over so you can relieve yourself because they didn't have, you know, restrooms for men or women on the bus. So him asking the bus driver to pull over is not a, you know, it's not a crazy request, unlike it would be today. You know, you can go to the bathroom. Don't ever, if you ride the bus, you don't want to get a seat at the back of the bus because the bathroom is back there. You know, somebody come up out of there like Stanley or Pops. And drop a stinking load in the back of the bus. You got to sit and suffer through that, man. Anyhow. Yeah, it's terrible, right? It's the worst. Good night. Greyhound days. And Peter Pan days for you Northerners. Anyhow, this brother got into an argument basically ensued. And this is like what they say here. They actually epithets words, you know, were spewed and were cursing at each other on the bus. Now you can imagine they talked about the climate on the bus. This is during segregation. Where do black folks sit on the bus during segregation? The back of the bus, right? But if you're in the military, you know, the military was segregated at one point in time too. That's why we have Fort Bragg and we got Spring Lake. It used to be called Camp Spring Lake. That's where all the niggas that signed up or that were drafted in, that's where they had to sleep, in Spring Lake. That's why Spring Lake looks the way it does. They put no money. There was no economic development intended for Spring Lake. And I don't think there ever will be. Okay, they're still dealing with misappropriation of funds by their town finance manager. This is recent, okay? Anyhow, I go off on tangents. You just let me run my mouth. The climate on the bus, you even had not just soldiers on this bus, but you got civilians that are engrossed with Southern culture. They see a black man in uniform, they automatically get intimidated. They know this is a killer. This is a dangerous man here. Okay, he knows something that I don't know. I'm a civilian. Okay, so and let alone him being black. You know, them seeing your black skin alone. You know, and they talk about how it was kind of roisterous on the bus. You got a bus full of soldiers. They're happy to be home. They're talking. They trading war stories. There may be some liquor on the bus. I don't know. When was Prohibition? The early 1900s? But I mean, it's not a sin to drink, right? Which is another lie perpetuated by the Christian church. I read a scripture today talking about liquors, you know, how you're supposed to give a portion of your liquor, you know, unto the needy amongst us or whatever, but that's another conversation. They're on the bus and they are exchanging, the bus driver and Mr. Woodard, a black man in uniform. Okay. So they get to the next bus stop or the next town. He notifies the sheriff in that town, who just so happens to be moonlighting. And it's the police department in this town is 2 people. Okay, you got the sheriff and you got the deputy. That sounds like some backwoods stuff, but continue reading the article.
Says Woodard was taken to jail.
Oh, Salakia. I jumped over that part. So the bus driver basically stated his piece to the sheriff. According to the you learn Pell, political, economical, and legal systems, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
And according to the laws here in America. But Americans don't even hold themselves, accountable until the laws here. Okay. If you got a badge, you are above the law. That's why Steven Seagal's movies were so, everything he did in those movies was illegal. You can't treat random citizens like that, breaking of the arm and all that. You can't do that. But it was appealing. It appealed to the hearts of our oppressor. That's why it was so popular. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, everybody's seen the Billy Club before, like a baton. That rascal took that baton. He struck him with the baton, and I guess he thought he was going to fall, but the brother stood his ground. They dragged him off the bus, and he plunged the end of the baton into both his eye sockets, permanently blinding him. Okay, can you imagine that? You being a World War II decorated veteran with a honorably discharged, you come home and you hear the word boy and it triggers you to want to defend your manhood. You Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're supposed to be wise as a what? Most time, get that brother a hand. You're raising them right. Supposed to be wise as a serpent, according to what the scriptures say. We're going to get into that. We'll continue with the article.
Khan. Woodard was taken to jail, where he would later explain that someone poured whiskey on him.
Right.
To say that he had been drunk.
Right.
He spent the night in excruciating pain. The next morning, he was taken to court and ordered to sign papers that he could not see or read.
Right. Keep reading. Go over to the other highlighting, because that just basically talks about the documentary that came out on PBS. And what they did was they try to fuel movement behind the civil rights laws that were passed, which is more of the craft from Daniel, with regard to the policy, of our oppressor magnifying himself. This documentary was in the same spirit of that. Believing that America has a benevolent intention for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The fact that you can achieve or attain the American dream, which is all delusion. This is their empire. This is their kingdom. It was never, ever, ever created nor designed for you.
That's right. That's right.
Ever. So you can skip down to 2 months.
Okay. 2 months after he was blinded, Woodard traveled to New York City, where he met with Walter White, executive secretary of the NAACP. The NAACP's legal team, led by Thurgood Marshall, had been looking for civil rights cases that could help dramatize the impact of Jim Crow laws, lynchings, white supremacy, police brutality, and racial violence committed against Black people.
It's commonplace, and they have a Stop Asian Hate Crime bill that was passed. 5 isolated incidents of Moab or Ammon being, violated, and they get a whole crime bill passed. But we've dealt with centuries of being brutalized at the hands of this oppressor, man. Where's our crime bill?
Right.
If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you need to remove your spirit from this place, man.
Right. That's right.
talk about insanity. You know, it's insane for us to believe, you know, or to put false hope in our oppressor ever changing. You know, he is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
You know, and there is no changing him.
That's right.
When you see that sky crack, that, you know, I always think about that's glorious.
That's right.
To be able to witness that, the sky cracking, I know it's gonna be a terrible thing for a lot of us.
Right.
But to just see a black Christ coming through the clouds, man, and a look on every oppressor's face, you know, I want to see it.
Right.
So, you had your hand up, brother.
No, I was about to say when that happened, man, it's gonna be like you cut the light on with roaches and now.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
And it's like that's sad that I didn't know what that looked like.
We live in hell, man.
Right.
That's our condition, our present condition, and it was designed to be perpetual, man.
That's right.
You're supposed to get used to seeing them roaches scatter when you cut your goddamn lights on,
Right.
wherever you live. If you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, where do we live?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Oh, it's like I was about to say, if you ask me, I was about to say the hood and the barrio. Like
That's right, on the reservation. That's right. You know, it's textbook UPK,
Right.
but it's the truth.
Right.
You know, we speaking truth to, you know, to power, literally.
That's right.
That's a real thing, you know, and it has left an indelible mark on all of us. You know, that's traumatizing. Man, it's traumatizing to deal with what we have to deal with in this place.
Right.
We have to raise our babies in this place under the, you know, under these conditions, man. When are we going to get our respite? When are we going to get relief from this beast, man? You know, that's why it's imperative for you to get in class.
Right.
It's imperative for you to come into the I.S.U.P.K, man.
Right.
Salakia, I'm not going to say we don't still deal with some of those problems, but it's not as intense as it used to be. You know, you can get respite in this place.
Right.
You know, this is what the kingdom of heaven is going to look like. I see glimpses of it every feast day, every high holy day.
Right.
Go to the Passover, you shedding tears of joy.
Right.
I mean, how as a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian can you shed tears of joy here in America, man?
Right.
So you know it's a beautiful, glorious thing what's happening here in the school, man. Like I owe my life to Commander General YAHANNA.
Right.
But go ahead and continue with the article, brother. Let's get through this.
Okay, sir. It says hundreds of Black veterans had been attacked. An unknown number were lynched.
Hundreds of what?
Of Black veterans.
I mean, we're not talking about civilians. Right. We're talking about somebody that took the goddamn earth. It was, right. Sir, yes, sir. It takes a different level of discipline to be able to do that, man. Right. Over hundreds of veterans have been what?
Had been lynched. It's like an attack. An unknown number were lynched.
Right. There is a website. If you're in North Carolina, you Google the Red Record, you're going to get through a lot of fluff. Right. But it details every lynching site that was on the books as far as that was recorded via history in North Carolina. Right. So in a city or a township near you, you could probably find a place. Well, yeah, you will be able to find a place where they hung brothers and sisters, man. Right. We got several sites here in Fayetteville, in Cumberland County. Go ahead, brother.
Salaki, if I may, Cordon, can you read that little last part again, if you don't mind?
It says hundreds of Black veterans have been attacked, and an unknown number were lynched.
Hundreds of veterans been attacked, man. Unknown number lynched. This ain't happening in the wars that they fight in. You understand? Like they going over there, we dying for our oppressor, man. Vietnam. You understand? We was talking about that the other day. You ain't got no armor, no helmets, all that. Right. You know what I'm saying? We fought in all these wars. Right. You understand? Like Pearl Harbor,
Mm.
everything, all these wars we done won, only to come back here and still have to fight against
That's
a system that's against us. Man.
That's right.
The real war is not over there.
Right.
That's
the
right.
real war is right here, man.
Damn
In
right.
Black and Hispanic neighborhoods, man.
That's
where
right.
the real war is. American soil, man.
And what's so heavy about what you're saying is, you know, in the school you don't learn, or in the church you don't learn about war. Right. You learn to be at peace with your enemies, make peace with all the other nations, okay? But in here you learn that life is war, man.
That's right.
You learn that life is war, and it begins with you. Every day you wake up, you got to battle those thoughts. You got to battle your heart, essentially, you know, and not do that evil, wicked thing that you would do that goes against the law. You know, it takes real strength in order to be in here, man. You know, but the war, you know, life is definitely war, right. Especially if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Right. You live in a lawless nation, man, a sinful kingdom. Right. Continue with the article, brother, Baba Kushah.
Come. The NAACP offices were filled with harrowing reports of Black veterans lynched.
And you know what lynching is, right? We all should know what lynching is. You know, Billie Holiday made a song about strange fruit because it was such a common practice, you know, which, man, that permeated every facet of life in the South, life in America, man, life across the globe. For you to be lynched, you know, how can you? I mean, you are a person. You are a nation that is devoid of compassion. Right. I couldn't imagine my kids seeing, you know, a Edomite swinging from a tree, right. And that's just, oh, that's what we do. Mm. You know, he wasn't, you know, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, so we had to string him up. And bringing our kids around that, raising them up in the culture of that, you know, that's evil and wicked, man. All right. You know, and we have so much compassion, and that being our existence, that being our reality. Right. You know, it's hard to wrap my head around that, man. Continue with the article.
Come. One Black veteran had been murdered for casting a vote in a primary.
Right, we talked about that earlier, man. You are not supposed to be voting if you Black, Hispanic, right. Find that precept for me if you will, officer. Right. Yeah, you're not supposed to vote, you know, and so many of our people get lost in the sauce when it comes down to that. Right. Your belief in democracy, man, your belief in this republic, you know, for which it stands. You know, this nation is divided, and they will never join themselves to you. They'll never look at you as their equal. Right. They'll never accept you. We're so willing to accept them to the cookout. Oh, you can get invited to the cookout. They will never invite you to the cookout. Right. It's foolishness. Go ahead, brother.
Deuteronomy 17:15.
Most High Christ.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee.
Right.
Whom the Most High thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren.
Right.
Shalt thou set king over thee.
One from among thy who?
Thy brethren.
Barack Obama was not your brother, black man. He is a filthy Hamite, man. Right. He's an African. His brother, his father was Nigerian or something. Right. Whatever he wasn't you. That's right. Kamala Harris is not you. Right. Kamala Harris is a devil. Right. You know, disguising herself as a black woman. You know, she set a state record in California, locking up black and brown brothers and sisters, man. A record. You know, Joe Biden with the crime bill, you know, he made history with that crime bill. You know, you got two devils that are against you in every which way in this place. And we voted to put them in office thinking that we're going to get some relief from, you know, their brutality, man. Right. But it's only getting worse. It's only going to get worse. Is that it on that verse?
It says, thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
Right. Which is not thy brother.
Which is not thy brother. Everything about Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, Barack Obama is strange, man. Right. That's unfamiliar, man. All their ways, their customs, Imagine eating dinner at their dinner table. You will not be able to relate with none of them. None whatsoever. And they're going to be looking at you like you're the strange thing. When in all essence, that's who they are. They're strange. Okay? You're a holy nation, man. Chosen by the most high power. You should take pride in knowing that. You should take pride in knowing that you are of the bloodline, man. Salvation is for you. It's not for them. It's never been for them. What do they need to be saved from, man? Themselves? They're the monsters that walk the earth, man.
That's right.
And they paint us up to be what? Thugs and murderers and thieves. And I mean, well, damn, you taking all the resources. You taking everything. What do you expect a person to do? Not to say that it's right. I'm not going to put any justification in breaking the laws. If you're keeping the laws, the scriptures say what? About the righteous not being forsaken, man.
That's right.
You keep the laws, you follow our Father and his example, you're going to be all right, man.
That's right.
You won't have to suffer at the hands of these heathens. Continue with that article. That's it. That's it on that verse, right? Most High in Christ.
Come on. It says, in July 1946, 4 black people, including George W. Dorsey, a distinguished veteran who had served in World War II in the Pacific and North Africa, were beaten, tortured, fatally shot, and hanged from the Moores Ford Bridge.
So, like, where did this brother go? He had been where? For Esau, fighting in this war?
Oh, it says a distinguished veteran who has served in World War II in the Pacific and North Africa.
This is a separate brother. This is not Isaac Woodard. This is George who? Dorsey?
Come on, sir.
He served where?
It says he had served in World War II in the Pacific and North Africa.
And what they do to him?
They were beaten, tortured, fatally shot, and hanged from the Moores Ford Bridge in Walton County, Georgia, in what is called the last mass lynching in America.
Good night, man. Keep reading, man.
Come on, sir. It says, unlike so many other black veterans who had been lynched.
Here. Go back up to so many.
It says, unlike so many.
No. The paragraph right before that.
Also, like it says, so many did not survive their encounters with police officers.
Right, and that's the same spirit of today. Right. You see the police, and you pass them. Always, every time I pass them, I look in the rearview mirror to see if you're gonna bust a Yui. Right. There's a certain anxiety that comes with being a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian in this place.
That's right.
Because the scriptures say they hunt our steps, man.
Right.
They literally lay in wait for you.
That's right.
So you better be abiding by the laws of the land. You better wear your goddamn seatbelt.
Right.
You shouldn't be drinking and driving. Right. You should have baby in a car seat, right? You shouldn't have too dark a tint on your windows. I mean, don't give them a reason to pull you over, man. And that's not out of being scared, because all those things are a violation of their laws.
That's right.
Okay, and they expect you to keep them. They are hypocrites, yes. They are the pot calling the kettle black. They do as I say, not as I do. That is our oppressor. Okay,
Right.
so do, as long as it's not in violation of keeping our laws, our statutes, our commandments.
Right.
No, you cannot abort your baby, sister. No, you cannot be a goddamn homo, a gay person.
Right.
You can't do those things if you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian.
That's right.
Because you'll have the adversary against you, but you'll have the Most High against you, man.
That's right.
That's who you should fear. How's the scripture go? You got it. Most High in Christ. I knew it was coming.
This is Ecclesiastic chapter 1, verse 11. It says, the fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and the crown of rejoicing.
Break that down, brother.
Like, you fearing the Lord, like, above all, this one bring out. Fearing the Lord, man, is like one of the best things that you can do in today's society, man. And one of the best things that we as Israel and as a people have ever done.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because with us fearing the Lord, hold on, let me get this other scripture. Shalaki. Verse 12, it says, the fear of the Lord maketh the mercy heart, and giveth joy, and gladness, and long life. Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last. He shall find favor in the days of his death. You feel what I'm saying?
Most High Christ, where are you at?
In today's day, this is Ecclesiastes 11 through 13.
Most High Christ.
You know what I mean? So like today's time, you gotta look at it like this. Like we dying of AIDS, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, and before we die, we get fingers cut off, limbs cut off because we sugar too high.
Right.
7 heart attacks. You know what I mean? Brain dead, woke up, go brain dead again.
Right.
These are the type of things that the Lord wanted us not to go through if we just fear the Lord. You know what I mean? And us not fear the Lord causes us to be bold-hearted in this society. You know what I mean?
Right.
And America coagulates that by telling us, like, look, tell the woman, like, look, you don't need a man. Look, you can be independent. Black woman, look, you the king now. Go abort your baby if you want.
But let me ask you this: how is America doing that? Through what tool?
Oh, through Christianity.
Most High in Christ, man. Most High in Christ. Woe be unto the pastors, man. You where you at?
It says Jamala Ephraim.
No, skip down. Go back to unlike.
Okay. Unlike so many other black veterans who have been lynched, Woodard lived to tell history.
That's right. He lived to tell his story, man. He didn't get lynched, you know. But I mean, what's worse than being blinded, man? That is hell. When you have vision, you see all the colors, you see all the all the beautiful sisters. You know what I'm saying? You get to see your children grow up. You get to see your rib grow old. Like, come on, man. You get to see the fruits of your labor. To see them, though, you know, you just imagine, you know, was it Isaac? Just imagine Isaac in his old age, his vision waning, him not being able to decipher Jacob from Esau. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a real terrible thing. Your other senses become more keen,
right?
You know, but the Lord blessed you with vision, and it was taken from you, man. Brutally taken from you. Where's his justice, man?
Right.
Keep reading. Oh, Salaka, go ahead, brother.
And what's so heavy is we see this, you know what I'm saying? We reading this story. We done seen it on the news.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being here, we done learned, you know, all the tragedies, all the horror things, like horror stories. You know what I'm saying? All the things that are happening to blacks, Hispanics. And our leaders still tell us to join.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They still try to tell us to join. Like that's like this place is a nightmare.
Right.
And you still tell us to join with these people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, right.
And our leaders, like the scripture say, lead us to error, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we destroyed in here.
Right.
And we just still told to love everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's heavy what you're bringing out, man.
It's ridiculous, man. You know, and just based off of that argument, brother, if you will pull Matthew 5:25, based off of a simple argument, man, a simple dispute, man. You know, I teach social etiquette for my slavery, you know. So you teach people how to interact and engage with other people. Well, in the I.S.U.P.K, this is my job.
That's right.
We teach social etiquette. That's why we have a goddamn brotherhood class every week.
Right.
Because we don't know how to treat one another. We don't even love ourselves, man.
That's right.
You know? So with regard to how you're supposed to season your words with salt, man, you know what kind of response you're going to get based off of your tone, based off of flexion, based off of posturing when you're communicating with your brother, let alone some devil who has the power. I mean, he has the power to send you to the jailer, man.
That's right.
He's got the power to have you stringed up by some damn oak tree. Can you imagine that? Them preparing a noose for you? We don't reflect on those things enough, man.
Right.
People.
The power to hold himself not guilty.
Right.
Damn right.
Damn right.
Damn right. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. They hold themselves guiltless, right?
Right. That's right.
They don't even acknowledge their own laws, man. They above the law, like we said earlier. You know, y'all need to reflect on those things, man.
Right.
Go to the library and rent the slave narratives, man. You know, see what it was like for our ancestors, what they had to endure, what they lived through. I got one. What they lived through, man. How they fed the babies, how they fed our babies. Bet you don't even know how they fed our children on the plantations in a goddamn trough, like you feed a pig,
Right.
or a cow, man. That's how they would feed our children. I know this ain't no history class, but it's got to be against the law, human rights laws.
Right.
It's got to be. You think that would be allowed in the kingdom? I mean, we have enough compassion to not, even though they deserve to eat off the ground. It won't even be a trough on my plantation. So like, I can't. Oh man, let's finish this article, man. No. Who got Matthew 5:25? Read that for me, brother.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary.
Agree with who?
Adversary, right? Quickly.
Agree with thine adversary quickly. What's an adversary? Pull the definition of adversary. You already know what time it is. Do it the U.P.K. way, man. It's only one way here. It's a one way. I know it's a common term, but when you define these terms, man, you get a deeper understanding. Okay.
So I got
Go ahead, brother.
Adversary is out of the Merriam-Webster dictionary is a noun. It says one that contends with, opposes, or resists an enemy or opponent.
That bus driver was contending with Isaac Woodard, man. He was already at variance with Isaac Woodard when he saw him get on that damn bus in that uniform. Oh, another nigga on another coon on this bus. He hated the fact that he had to serve Isaac Woodard, because that's a service job. You driving the bus, man. You work for me right now. I paid the ticket. I paid my fare. Do your job. If I ask you to stop in any city, because I got to relieve myself, even if I was drinking, do your job, man. Continue with adversary.
It says, this is an adjective. It says related to or involving an enemy or adversary, having or involving antagonistic parties or opposing interests.
Right, man. We see the videos of the Karens. They're all antagonistic when it comes down to anything that you decide to do.
Right.
Shalom, brother. They're antagonistic toward you just living, you existing besides them. You existing beside them is a problem for them, man. Two nations were separated in the womb, in Rebecca's womb, man. These scriptures is so poetic because it's true, it's real. You know, that's what makes rap such a beautiful art form. You know, that's what makes, you know, any art form real, because it imitates life essentially.
That's right.
You know, so what's more realer than that? You know, when the Bible prophesied about these two nations, man, and the differences between us, it's a real thing, and it lasts until today. You know, those are our adversaries. Those are our enemies, according to the book of Deuteronomy. Those are the enemies that the Lord sent against us, man. That's why I say we serve a terrible power, because it pains me to know that this idiot has any authority when it comes down to me. I hate going to the slave and having to listen to some bumbling devil tell me what time I'm supposed to be there, or what my programming is supposed to look like, or whatever his expectation is for the way he wants to run his company. And I know I could destroy him with my bare hands. It's demeaning. They're always condescending. They're always pretentious. They always think that they're smarter than you, regardless of your educational level. I get my wisdom and understanding from keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right. That's right.
Straight up and down. Keep reading with that verse, Matthew 5:25.
Kind of one kind. Whilst thou art in the way with him.
Right. When Isaac Woodard was in the way with that bus driver, he could have been apologetic. Like, you know what, forgive me. Or, you know, he said, sit down, boy, hold it. Brothers learn to get a Gatorade bottle. Straight up and down. You don't want me to, I'm gonna piss in this can.
Right.
I'm gonna piss in this can. Salakia.
That's such a heavy point you bring out too, because one of my favorite scriptures that I learned in the U.P.K. was Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. And pretty much it says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh to wild beast? We know that the so-called oppressor is the most subtle beast of the field.
That's right.
You smoking weed in your car and you think he's not going to check it?
Right.
You blasting your music through a neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? Like you're asking this serpent to F with you.
That's right.
You on a bus, you got a bottle, piss in a bottle.
Right.
You're in the antebellum South. Now, I'm not excusing what these devils did, but they're wild beasts.
That's
we
right.
know that they're a devil. Like you just brother Ray, you agree with them quickly and get out of there.
That's it.
Yeah, you could probably beat them up, but at what cost?
We're gonna track you down.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Let's
like,
go.
you get my point? It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
We gotta realize that.
Most High in Christ, man. Straight up and down. A lynch mob will be formed for your discretion, for you doing whatever it is that you did, Keep reading that.
Kind. Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
Right. Where was Isaac Woodard's due process, man? Where was it? That officer was judge, jury, and executioner, man.
Right.
He didn't take his life, but he killed his vision, man.
Right, he did.
He removed his sight.
That's right.
That's a very tragic thing that happened to this brother, man. And nobody knew about this in the room. They don't talk about this during Black History Month.
Right.
This is a part of your history, your heritage, black man. You should know about Isaac Woodard and the sacrifice of his loss of vision, man.
Right.
After all he did for America, man. Being a decorated war hero, a war veteran.
Right.
Honorably discharged.
Right.
Meaning he kept the law, man. He kept the laws of the land. A dishonorable discharge is like a felony, man. You get dishonorably discharged from Esau's military, it's like the goddamn Scarlet Letter, man. Y'all read that, Nathaniel Hawthorne. Y'all brothers, I got real warriors in the room. They wasn't trying to focus on Esau's classrooms at all. They're like, the hell with that. Is that it on Matthew 5 and 25? Keep reading that article, brother. Let's get through this. Time check. Yeah. Most High Christ.
It said, I spent 3.5 years in the service of my country and thought I would be treated as a man when I returned to my country, Woodard said, but that was a mistake.
Isaac Woodard said that was a what?
But that was a mistake.
Isaac Woodard acknowledged him spending all that goddamn time in the military. Isaac Woodard acknowledged the fact that he signed his life over for Esau to do what Esau said. Sir, yes, sir. Getting smoked. Military and what it once was, man. He realized it was a mistake, man. But it's too late. You're not gonna see your kids grow up, my nigga. My great grandfather was blind, man. Right. And we go see him, he had to fill our faces. He'd fill our faces. Right. We had to line up, he'd fill our faces. Oh, you must be my slave name. Because he was blind. He's still bold, he still played the bass. Right. He still had the quality of life. His blindness was because of health, But Isaac Woodard, his blindness was because of some devil, man.
Right.
Not recognizing, the fact that he's a man, not recognizing, not even acknowledging it. They had to put a 3/5 clause into the Constitution because you were deemed as property. You will always be deemed as property if you Black, Hispanic, or goddamn Native Indian, man.
Right. That's right.
That's it. So you need to put that on your psyche when you leave your house
Right.
every day.
That's right.
You know, put that on the forefront of your thinking whenever you're interacting and engaging with these monsters, man. Think about that. Chew on that, okay? Salakia, keep reading that scripture. Article.
Come, sir. It says on September 19th, 1946, White led a delegation of civil rights leaders to meet with President Harry S. Truman to urge him to work to pass anti-lynching legislation.
Right. Because niggas was getting lynched every day, you know? Every day on average, they were lynching a brother, man. And I think the statistics are a little higher. You know, I matriculated out of post-secondary education, so I don't like statistics. But, you know, the numbers don't lie, man.
That's right.
You talk about those averages, I'm talking about loss of life. They're taking your life.
That's right.
And you got the nerve for me to have pity or show pity of the loss of life that you endure from the pandemic,
Right.
which was sent from the Lord.
That's right.
Those plagues that you can read about in the book of Exodus.
Right.
You know, that's what the COVID-19 is. Salakia. And it has affected a lot of our people, a lot of our brothers and sisters.
That's right.
You know, but most of us are surviving.
Right.
You feel me?
That's right.
Salakia. Keep reading that, man.
Come, sir. It says when Truman heard about the police attack on Woodard, a veteran, he exclaimed, "My God, I didn't know it was this bad."
Lies. Smooth words from the devil, man. Harry S. Truman, outright racist. And he sat up there and acted like because he was a veteran, he gave a damn.
Right.
He didn't give a damn. Because them cameras was on him, and because that brother survived that lynching, well, he survived being, you know, losing his vision. That's the only reason why he had to save face. You put a camera in his face, what you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now? Salakia, keep reading that script, that verse, brother. The article.
It says, "My God, I didn't know it was this bad. We've got to do something."
Right, he's the president of the United States of America, man. What do you mean you do not know the condition of race relations? I mean, that's the highest seat in America. Right. You're literally the CEO of America, man. And you mean to tell me you do not know the condition of your most valuable commodity? Because that's what niggas, spicks, and wetbacks are here in this place. Right. Remove blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians from America, and America will fall overnight, man.
Right.
So this is all lip service, what we see here in this article about Harry Truman and them trying to glorify him, to make him seem like he's some benevolent spirit, you know? No, I'm not going to seek any type of solace in those words that they claim he said. This is just someone's account.
You said Truman served in the military?
Yeah, Truman, I believe he was a veteran. So
right. That remind me of that movie where they robbed the truck. What's it called? Dead Presidents. When they were sentencing Lorenz Tate, and notably he served in Vietnam, he was poor.
Right.
His Chris Tucker was poor.
Right.
The Puerto Rican dude was poor. All of them served, and they were poor. They came home to nothing. And when they decided to rob that Brinks truck, the judge sentenced him and said, "I'll too serve in the military. That's no excuse." He had no pity.
None.
He had no sympathy for his fellow service brother. He was white. He couldn't rationalize, you know, the depths of poverty that these brothers were going through.
Right.
Like, for that to happen, why would you even say you serve too? That has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Ridiculous.
Right. Most High Christ said that.
Knows that.
Hollywood definitely, they know. Yeah. They definitely know. I think about A Different World. Why the hell they call it A Different World? Remember that show?
Oh, kitchen dude.
You know, they glamorize you, you know what I'm saying, chasing this education.
Right, that's right.
Post-secondary education so that you can, you know, get your part of the American dream.
Right.
You know, but you further get destroyed going into these universities, these colleges.
Right, that's right.
You get an education of how to serve your oppressor.
Right.
You know, you get an education in how to I mean, the things that I learned in college beyond the curriculum, you know, just pick from the other nations, you know, smoking weed, being a goddamn substance abuse, being a sexual deviant. You learn all these things on these campuses, man.
That's right.
You know, thank God for the I.S.U.P.K.
That's
man.
right. Right.
You want a real education? Get in one of these classrooms, man.
Right. Damn right.
You're too much of a coward to come set foot in the classroom.
Right.
You can look online. You can look online. We're on every social media platform, man.
Right,
for now. And we're also creating our own platform.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Let's finish this article, man. We to burning up the time with this article. Salakia.
Khan. It says the next day, Truman ordered his attorney general to bring federal charges against Batesville Police Chief Linwood L. Shull.
Right. So go ahead.
Khan, who was charged with violating the civil rights of Woodard by blinding both of his eyes. A month later, on November 5th, 1946, Shull's trial began in Columbia, South Carolina. The trial was presided over by Judge J. Wades Waring, the son of a Confederate soldier.
So he was legacy, right? His daddy served for the Confederacy in the South. This is the judge presiding over your goddamn trial, over you being blinded by some devil.
Right.
This is the judge that you're dealing with now. And you're definitely not dealing, well, you're not on trial. The sheriff was on trial because the president had to pull up federal charges against him. He had the attorney general do that. The president, not the local municipalities, not the governor. It went all the way to the president, man. It's a ridiculous thing. This is something that should have been handled on a lower level. If your life had any value in this place, but obviously it doesn't. Continue with that.
It says during the trial, Woodard testified that he was pulled off the interstate bus on the night of February 13, 1946, in Batesburg, South Carolina. Shull was waiting for him at the bus door. He said, and struck him before he could say anything.
Right, he didn't want to hear what you got to say. You are a nigga. I don't care about the uniform. I see you in uniform. I could give a damn about that uniform. You are a black man and you are not stepping left, man. You are not stepping in accordance with the rules of Jim Crow. Boy, you from here. You know what time it is. How dare you? How dare you act out of character in front of all these good white folks that's on this bus? They had to do something. Can you imagine? They had to do something. They had to save face in that moment. Or the sheriff felt like he had to save face in that moment for the sake of all the decent white humanity, for the sake of that bus driver who was belittled because he had to serve these Negroes on this bus. And it was mixed. It was white soldiers and black soldiers, in addition to the white civilians that's on the bus. Keep reading.
Okay. According to a 1946 United Press news article, 2 war veterans, a Negro and a white, who were discharged at Augusta the same day as Woodard and rode on the bus with him, testified that the Negro was not drunk and had not created a disturbance.
Right. We got witnesses. We got witnesses that are vouching for you right now. They're standing, you know, you raise your right hand, you know, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Witness testimony, man, right here. Saying that the nigga wasn't drunk. He wasn't drunk.
Right.
And you know, you start drinking. I know I'm an older brother, so I got to go to the head. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand. You on the bus drinking? Yeah, you're going to have to use the restroom. But these brothers said he wasn't drinking. That's the reason why they dumped alcohol on him when they threw him in prison, when they threw him in the jail cell, just to corroborate their story against him. Right. Okay, continue.
Come. It says the all-white jury.
The who?
The all-white jury.
The all who?
All-white jury.
Mm-hmm.
Deliberately only 15 minutes before acquitting Shaw.
So they went to deliberation. Okay. Before you get the verdict or whatever, before they get the verdict, they're deliberating. Okay. There's a movie called 12 Angry Men. It's real interesting to see. You know what I'm saying? It's heavy. But the process of deliberation, there's always somebody in there that's going to be anti whatever because of their own preconceived notions or their own superficial beliefs. You can really be what's the word? Subjective. Right. And when it comes down to the law, you shouldn't be. The law's the law. Either you did it or you didn't do it. Either you broke the law or you kept the law. Okay. So the all-white jury deliberated only 15. It only took them 15 minutes, man. It wasn't no hung jury. Nobody was hung up on the fact that this sheriff was wrong. Right. In their minds, how many jurors is it? 12, right? Right. Generally 12, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. So 12 jurors, all white, man and woman, pretty damn sure about it. They determined that the police officer, he didn't do anything wrong. And he took this man's eyesight. He took his vision, man. Can you imagine that? Being a black man in the 40s, no vision, navigating your way through the South, through Jim Crow South? I mean, how the hell is he supposed to, provide for his family? Right. How can he give his rib sound counsel? He can't even see. Right. The brother can't see, man. Keep reading that article, man. Con, sir. It's selection. Judge Warren and his wife are appalled at the blatant miscarriage of justice. All right, so it goes into talking about how the judge was the son of a Confederate veteran. Okay, he's a white man now. And he said him and his wife was appalled at the miscarriage of justice. They know that justice was not served in that courtroom that he was presiding over, where those 12 jurors, all white, acquitted that murderous bastard, man. Killing the vision of my brother, Isaac Woodard, man. Keep reading. Con. It says, according to PBS, Warren will devote the rest of his career to the fight against racism. The Warrens become the targets of threats and violence. A month after the trial ended on December 5th, 1946, Truman signed an executive order creating the President's Committee on Civil Rights. Right. All right, whatever with all that. Go ahead, brother.
You're so heavy about this. Like, all this happened, right? Like, you hearing this brother talking about
1 Peter 5:8-9.
You hearing this brother giving his testimony about everything that happened, how he threw alcohol on him. You see that, they plunged his eyes out. You know what I'm saying? You got two witnesses.
Right.
And even though, like, this was around the time, I don't know if y'all brothers know, Martin Luther King. Right. That shows you how evil our leaders are, man. Right. This was around the time of Martin Luther King, and Martin Luther King still tried to join us to these people, man. He still told us to integrate with these people, man. And this was around his time. Right. And this brother even said, he made a mistake, like trying to join himself. And Martin Luther King still did not take this story and leave it. That shows you how selfish Christian leaders are, man. Right. That shows us exactly how selfish they are. He still tried to join us knowing that this happened. Right. He's seen it all happening. It says hundreds were killed and an unnumbered amount were hung. Martin Luther King knew exactly what he was doing, man.
That's right.
So like,
no, he damn sure did. Give that brother a hand, man. Let's get some of these scriptures in. Quadam, go to Proverbs 28:4, man. We'll talk about the spirit on these jurors real quick, man. Because I can't wrap my head around it. But that's because I'm not an evil man. I'm not a wicked man. I'm striving to do what the Most High Power wants me to do. Thus saith the Lord, man.
That's right.
I learned to keep these laws, statutes, commandments, man. I'm not looking back. I'm not leaning into my own understanding, man. Because we know that the heart is deceitful above all things, right?
Right.
All right, continue. Proverbs 28 and 4.
Come. The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 4. They that forsake the law.
They that what?
Forsake the law.
What does it mean to forsake the law?
So like I said, if I made it to reject it.
To reject the law.
Right.
To reject the law. Now, the Mosaic laws, you know, we all heard of eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, right? You know, Christ talked about that. That was in the Old Testament under Mosaic law, right? You take your neighbor's eye, somebody got to take your eye, straight up. It's just the way it was, you know. But when we look at this case, it says they that what?
They that forsake the law, praise the wicked.
They do what?
Praise the wicked.
It was wicked and evil what that officer did to Isaac Woodard, man. It was a wicked and evil thing. All right. And those that forsake the law, those that did not give a damn about his civil rights. Right. This is before the civil rights, law was passed.
Right.
You know, they didn't give a damn about him. So they held the sheriff in high esteem, man. They honored him by acquitting him. He's just doing his job. Which resonates with my spirit with regard to the history of police officers. You know, they were only created to protect property, man.
Right.
Who's that? What is that property? Who? You, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child.
Right.
When I talk about us being the most valuable commodity, you know, we were the first commodity traded on the open market, man. Right. We were human chattel. Okay. They that forsake the law, what?
Praise the wicked. But such as keep the law, contend with them.
Right, we contend with those that do not want to uphold the law, man. Right. We could give a damn about what Pastor Joe Willie is saying. Right. We only care about what he's saying because he's spewing his lies to our brothers and sisters, man. Right. He is a non-factor. The scriptures talk about him. Woe be unto the pastors, man. Straight up and down. He got what's coming to him. We uphold the law, man. So we're going to contend with anyone that's teaching against the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Right. That's what we're talking about Isaac Woodard in 2021. This is something that happened in 1946, man. I'll never forget what happened to my brothers, what happened to my ancestors.
That's right.
You shouldn't either if you black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, man.
Right.
This is our heritage here. This happened. This is on the record of world history, man. Right. American history. And they have the audacity to not want to teach critical race theory. Race had every goddamn thing to do with what happened to Isaac Woodard, man. Right. It had nothing to do with the uniform. It had nothing at all to do with him being in the American uniform. Right. Him being all that he could be, man. Right. It's because he was a black man.
That's right.
You know, they know exactly who you are. Every nation on this earth knows who you are. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman, and child. Right. They know who you are. Think about all the battles, man. So, man, just wrap your head around this. We can't trace our lineage back to Africa, or, across the Middle Passage. Right. You know, it's hard enough to trace your lineage back to whatever plantation your grandparents were from, your great-grandparents was from. Right. But every heathen that I know knows what tribe they're from. That's right. They know who their forefathers are. Right. They have their own land. Right. They got their own goddamn language, man. Right. Okay? So it's criminal for you not to acknowledge what has happened in real time and before time to your people, man. That's right. You got to focus on what's happening. Everybody's like, oh, you living in the past. Well, I'm living in the past so that I do not, repeat what happened in the past.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's a stupid thing to do. Anyhow, whatever, man. Drop that. Let's go to 1 Peter 5 and 8. Where we at? 5 minutes? Ooh, we might not be able to get through this one. Let's go to Exodus 23. Exodus 23. Let's go there first. Well, last. Exodus 23 and 20. Salakia. When you get it, read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee.
Right. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, the Most High Power has sent an angel before you. Okay? Continue.
To keep thee in the way.
To keep thee in the way, man. That's why you got to come and get in these classes. Learn who you are. Learn what is expected of you according to thus saith the Lord, man. We're in this Bible. Your pastor, he can't hold. I don't give a damn about what divinity school he went to, what theology degree he has. It's absolute toilet paper to the priests and prophets in this school. We're going to teach you the absolute truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. According to what the Bible says, okay? These are not our words. Keep reading.
And to bring thee into the place which I have prepared.
Right. So if you want to get the kingdom, you need to be walking circumspect to what that angel of the Lord sent before you, man. You need to be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why we teach this class every week, man. This is a reminder. You want to perfect anything, it takes repetition, man. This is, Creflo Dollar is a liar. He's an absolute liar, man. You have to keep the laws. You have to.
That's right.
The brother pulled it out earlier, Matthew 5 and 17.
That's right.
Think not.
That's right.
Think not what? Trooper, Officer Salakia, Officer Quadam.
That's right. Salakia, sir, but they think not that I have come to destroy the law. That's right.
Straight out of Christ's mouth, man.
Right.
You love Jesus so much. Why don't you do what he said to do?
Right.
You don't know Jesus, man. Salakia. Where we at with it?
Exodus 23 and 20, sir.
23 and 20. Yeah, keep going.
Verse 21.
Keep reading.
Beware of him and obey his voice.
Beware of that angel and obey his voice, man. Beware of him because, keep reading.
Provoke him not.
You don't want to provoke the angel of the Lord.
Right.
How can you provoke the angel of the Lord?
Right.
By smoking that goddamn blunt.
Right.
Whatever pack, whatever nigga just got smoked, whatever pack y'all smoking on. I seen a Diplomat's pack. Yeah, shout out to the locks. You know what I'm saying? That was a glorious thing. The cool. the Hustlers Pomade pack. It's the SDE pack. Salakia. Keep reading.
For he will not pardon your transgressions.
Right. That angel of the Lord is not going to pardon your transgressions, man.
That's right.
You know, the sin is transgression of the law, man.
Right.
You know, if it goes, the thing that you learn in this school is, you know, to do away with all the sin, you know. That's why you see brothers that have beards that ain't lined all the way. They ain't edged up like that.
Right.
We growing our hair out, you know. We're not wearing gay apparel, essentially. You know, we're not doing anything contrary to the law.
That's right.
It means something to us. That's why we look so strange to you.
Right.
Okay? You need to put some value into serving the Lord, man.
Right.
Keep reading that.
Come. For my name is in him.
Keep reading.
Come, verse 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies.
Right. The Most High will be an enemy unto your enemies, man. When you stop being a filthy sinner, you're not going to be able to do that because if you go to church, you're sinning, man. That's witchcraft in there. You're learning from your pastor is a witch.
That's right.
Your prophetess, those elders, those deacons in there, that's a satanic service, man. That's what it is. Because they're not teaching about the God of this Bible. They're not teaching you to keep these laws, these statutes, nor these commandments, man. You in there getting lulled to sleep. The Christian church is a goddamn palliative, man.
That's right.
Absolute palliative. They don't have, you know, the remedy. They don't have the cure for our people, and that's keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, man. Keep reading.
Come. It says, and an adversary unto thy adversary.
Right. So we talked about the term adversary earlier. He be an adversary to our adversaries. Who is our adversary right now? Who?
So I made one. Everybody on this planet Earth.
Right.
But mainly, you know what I'm saying, Esau.
Chiefly Esau.
Right.
He's the one with the big badge, right?
Right.
Man, keep reading.
Come, so verse 23. For my angels shall go before thee and bring thee into the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off.
Keep reading.
Come, verse 24. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but thou shalt utterly overthrow them and quite break down their images.
That's right. That's why we go so hard against Christianity, man.
Right.
That's idolatry according to our customs. You know, I'm not trying to learn no custom from no heathen whatsoever, man.
Right.
That's why it's a strenuous process to figure out who you are. You are the seed of your father. If your father was a black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman or child, right? If he's a man, you are the seed of your father, essentially. Right. Okay, whether you be man, woman, or child, whoever your daddy was and his daddy was of the seed, you are of the bloodline, man. Right. You're what we call an Israelite. Right. And this book is about you. We just talked about the laws that is our protection, man. When we don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, we have zero protection against this beast of an oppressor, of an adversary, man.
Right.
You know, and with that, you know, I'm gonna pass the class to priest and officer Kawal YAHANNA.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, and is pronounced by Asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. This is a free will offering. It is not mandatory. It's for priests. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Memorial blowing of trumpets. You can find this in Leviticus 23, 24 to 25. It's the first day of the 7th month. And that's going to be on September 6th. If you have any questions about that, contact your local camp leader. I know here it'll be in Durham School.
Right.
Durham School, man, 2534 South Roxbury Street. If anybody needs an arrangement to get in there, just, contact I.S.U.P.K, North Carolina. Remind Akio, I'll go out to check on the bulletin board. Okay. Hey, check on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Add to the Prophets, Crossline Radio, Out the Matrix. All the brothers got the podcast.
Right.
All of our I.S.U.P.K materials, man. Get help with that. Make sure you subscribe to I.S.U.P.K headquarters also, and be aware of and be on the lookout for Commander YAHANNA, the Black Watch. It's every Monday, man.
Right.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, headband, or scarf, and with that imagine. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Baruch Shabbat, Emmanuel, Barak, Yada Matah, this is the line. Class dismissed.